Alright, I hope everyone's been doing pretty well so far. I hope you guys are excited for Wuthering Waves. My name is Fakir, and today I'll be going over Sephiroth. I'm joking. We're going to be going over Calcharo, his kits, and who he works well with. Before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and possibly join the Discord to win a free battle pass on the day of release. I'll be streaming and giving them away on Twitch. If you want to check out the polls that we did last night, then stay till the end of the video to find out. With that out of the way, let's get the guide started, shall we? Calcharo is a 5-star character on the limited banner and uses the broad blade type weapon. He specializes in the electro element and is the main DPS for a team. Up on the screen are some of his basic stats at level 90. So with the bonus stats, he has around 10,500 HP with 500 attack, with 1200 defense, with 125 max energy, 5% crit rate, 166% damage, with 0% healing bonus and 0% electro damage. So he has a couple of basic attacks called the Hound's Gnaw. So he can perform up to 4 attacks which causes electro damage. He also has a heavy attack which when you consume stamina, you also cause electro damage. With the mid-air as well, you can cause electro damage by doing a mid-air plunge attack. And finally, a dodge counter. So after a successful dodge, you can use a basic attack at a certain interval and it causes electro damage again. So for his resonance skills, Calcharo essentially swings the broad blade 3 different times in a very short amount of time, which causes electro damage. If you don't use the extermination order, which is his resonance skills, 3 times in a row, then it will enter a cooldown. The cooldown is 10 seconds. So for his resonance liberation, called the Mirage Etching, he inflicts electro damage to the surrounding targets and then enters a state called the Death Blade Gear, which lasts for approximately 10 seconds. And during this moment, he can do a maximum of 5 attacks and inflict electro damage during this time. His evasion attack is also increased with the damage of the resonance liberation. So for his Forte Circuit hunting mission, there are a couple of requirements for the heavy attack Mercy and the resonance liberation Death Messenger. So when you're not in your ultimate, you can build up cruelty, which how do you get that? Well, you can get that by doing basic attacks. So each basic attack gives you 1 point of cruelty, and when you get up to 3 points, you can switch the heavy attack into the heavy attack Mercy, which essentially deals electro damage and recovers 6 points of resonance liberation energy and 6 points of concerto energy. The same is true for the resonance liberation Death Messenger. You need to acquire a certain point, which is called the Hound's Roar, and it recovers 1 point every single time you hit a target. So this applies to the resonance liberation called Death Messenger, and the basic attack is replaced with the Death Messenger in this instance, which it deals electro damage and also recovers 12.5 points of resonance energy and 20 points of concerto energy. Moving on to the inherent skills, he has the Bloodshed Awakening and the Flawless to Death. So starting with the Bloodshed Awakening, when he's doing the Mercy effect, which we talked about in the Circuit skill, the damage bonus of Calcharo's liberation increases by 10%. This lasts for 15 seconds as well. So his inherent skill Flawless to Death activates whenever his ultimate Death Messenger hits the target. This then means that he receives 15% less damage and lasts for 5 seconds. Finally, moving on to his intro and outro skill. His intro skill is called the Wanted Criminal, which essentially he comes onto the field and attacks the target, which causes electro damage. And on the dev notes, they stated that they are making the extra intro skill Necessary Means now available by default. So his outro skill, called the Shadow Raid, is basically whenever he leaves the field, before he actually leaves, he causes a 600% electro damage to the enemy using his shadow. Alright, let's answer some of the common questions that occur with Calcharo. So the first one is, what is his best echo set? So for the main echo, I would recommend either the Thundering Memphis or the Tempest Memphis. For the Thundering Memphis, it is cost 4 and he increases the electro damage bonus by 12% and is the same for Tempest Memphis. The only difference between the two is that the Thundering Memphis deals close-up attack damage, while the Tempest Memphis deals a long-range attack damage. As for the sub-echoes, you can go with the Young Geohide Sauron, the Traffic Illuminator, the Flautist, and the Violet Feathered Heron, which should be available in the new event, which if you want to check it out is on the top right. Moving on to his team build, who does he actually work well with? Well, for supports, he works really well with basically all of them. I would specifically recommend Reina because of her damage increase that she does, which is roughly 35%, and the fact that she basically keeps one of the teammates immortal if they receive fatal injury. She also does AoE damage and also heals the teammates as well. For the sub DPS, He works best with Yinlin because of her electro-damage bonus, which she should come out on the second banner. I also made a guide on her if you want to check it out, which is on the top right. Alternatively, if you don't want to go for Yinlin, you can also go for Yanwu, which should be free on the new event that's coming out. So who should pull for him? Well, if you love him and the character that he is, then just go for him. The meta changes all the time, but the love for the character that you have will never change. Also, if you're planning to pull for Yinlin, I highly implore you to actually get Calcharo as well, because as we've talked about, her damage bonus increase plus the 12% electro damage bonus from the echoes will make him a beast of a DPS to play with. Now finally, who should not pull for him? Well, if you don't plan on pulling for Yin, or if you plan on pulling for Ji Yan, which I did make a guide about as well, then I would highly suggest you to wait and actually focus on building Ji Yan first, because Calcharo is also another DPS, but he's specifically on the standard banner, which means that he'll be staying here for a very long time. Alright, so here are the poll results for the Discord, and coincidentally, Calcharo actually ended up winning, and so I will be fusing with him to become a chibi. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and possibly join the Discord, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.